Yeah.
Go ahead, pizza cutter. Won't you lay down on the floor since she's up on the couch?
Because we was both watching SpongeBob.
I'm very afraid to God I don't kill you in your sleep, boy.
Hey? Oh.
you're in change, and I hope you tell you.
Aren't these leafy things amazing?
Oh, my friend Sammy has one of these. They call them trees.
I didn't know that. Wow, look at the big sprays on the birthday boy. Nobody looks at my friend's brain without permission.
Birthday, beach giraffes, pie dragons, and beans. Oh, I can't wait to see what happens next.
Here comes the pie dragon! That sure was a close one, eh, folks?
You watching this?
Yes, I was. But
She's not even watching it.
Well, change it.
Because of the pandemic, and Evan Gorman has that story for us first at 10.
Good evening. Tonight we have learned 4 more people have died in the tri-state because of COVID-19. 2 of them from right here in Vanderburgh County. Both are women. They were 89 and 95 years old. Another death was reported in DuBois County and a 4th in Spencer County.
Every Hoosier has a role to play by telling your employer, your friends or family members, and by working with contact tracers if you test positive.
This bar graph from the Indiana Department of Health breaks down the statewide demographics for deaths. Those who are 80 years old and up make up more than half, at 51.5%. The younger the age, the fewer deaths that are reported. The CDC reports that elderly are among the most at risk. And tonight, Pine Haven, a long-term care facility in Evansville, says 21 residents and 10 staff members currently have COVID-19, and each are from the same facility unit. Administrators say positive cases are reported daily to the state's health department, plus to staff and families.
The priority in testing staff is a preventative measure on how do you identify folks before they come to work who might have COVID and therefore might cause an outbreak.
And officials tell us because of initial changes to the state's reporting system, the Pine Haven numbers were not being linked to the facility at the state level and were not showing up on the ISDH website, but we are learning that issue has since been corrected. In Evansville, Evan Gorman, 14 News.
In Illinois, White, Saline, and Gallatin counties are now at COVID-19 warning levels, according to the Department of Public Health. The department uses several indicators to determine if a county is experiencing COVID-19 activity, including tests performed, weekly test positivity, and ICU availability, among others. Health officials say a warning level county has reached a certain level for 2 or more of those factors.
Let's take a quick look now at our Indiana and Kentucky counties. Aside from those 2 deaths in Vanderburgh, the State Department of Health reports 42 new cases of COVID-19, 18 new cases in DuBois, and just over a dozen in Warwick. In Kentucky, only single-digit numbers today for the counties. 8 new cases in Davis County, 5 in Henderson, 4 in Hopkins, and 3 in Hancock. For updates on COVID-19 totals from across the tri-state, you can, of course, click the coronavirus tab on 14news.com. The University of Evansville has pushed back its fall start semester date to August 26th. Administrators had planned to start 9 days sooner and already had state approval to do that. Moving up the start date was intended to accommodate for a shortened semester. But as COVID-19 cases continue to rise, the university had to pivot again. The last day of instruction will be November 25th still. After Thanksgiving break, students will not be returning to campus this semester. Final exams will be given online, and the semester ends December 9th. UE officials chose not to comment on that change today.
A tri-state nonprofit is benefiting from a USDA grant program, and they say many others can benefit too. The Bread of Life Ministry tells us their 18,000 square foot facility services about
on Saturday, we have an alert day in place. That heavy rainfall may trigger yet more flash flooding around the region.
The race continues tonight to find a vaccine for COVID-19.
But some are concerned about what happens when the first vaccine gets the green light. Here's NBC's Richard Engel with those details.
As the U.S. and Europe scramble to secure vaccines even before they're fully tested and ready, concerns are growing tonight about a coming free-for-all, with rich countries gobbling up supply. And virologists warn unilateral approaches won't work, that unless the world is immunized, the virus will keep coming back.
The goal is to really end the pandemic. You have to take a global view.
Seth Berkley is the CEO of a group called Gavi, the Global Alliance for Vaccines, responsible for vaccinating 60% of the world's children. Gavi's ambitious plan, in coordination with the World Health Organization, is to secure deals with drug companies for 2 billion doses of a variety of vaccines and distribute them more equitably around the world, concentrating first where infection spreads the most, among doctors and nurses. Gavi hopes immunizing a targeted 20% of the entire planet will break the pandemic's back.
Even if a country has access to vaccines, if it wants to go back to normal, if it wants to have trade, if it wants to have tourism, if it wants to have an ability to move around, it can't have large reservoirs of virus in other countries.
More than 160 nations have signed on to Gavi's global vaccine initiative, with one notable absence, the United States, though talks are ongoing.
How troubling is it to you that President Trump and his administration aren't buying into this?
Let's
Right now, the data shows Americans are on a spending spree, but experts say that may wear off. The Census Bureau says personal spending rose 5.6% in June, and it follows an 8.5% surge in May. People bought a lot of clothing, particularly shoes. Americans drastically pulled back on their shopping in March and April as the coronavirus crisis hit. The $1,200 stimulus checks encouraged many people, they say, to spend.
Numbers from Berry Global. The company released its third quarter results today. The report reflects net sales are up 50% to $2.9 billion at a time when many businesses are struggling. Chairman and CEO Tom Salmon credited Berry employees for their effort and dedication throughout the COVID-19 pandemic.
I think it'd be best we go out there and cover that pool up.
Record earnings for the company.
Police say a driver hit the gas
we
instead
can.
of the brakes this morning, sending the vehicle into an Evansville CVS.
I don't
You think it can hold 3 more inches of rain?
Happened just before
Yeah,
10
didn't
Morgan.
let any water out
Police
of
tell
it?
us that
Yeah,
he
it-
was trying to park, but got the 2 pedals mixed up. The car
And
crashed
dog,
into the
that
front
is my
door of the
dealer.
building.
Got about that much drained out of it.
The
It's not
CVS
down like
already
that.
closed while crews removed that car from the front door.
A woman is in a Dubois County jail accused of hitting 2 cars while under the influence of marijuana and alcohol. They say 19-year-old Joanna Calderon hit 2.
Yeah, she's drunk.
Election protocols.
An Indiana teenager has died from injuries sustained after a building collapsed this week. This building was in Brownsburg and it was under construction, apparently not strong enough to withstand a thunderstorm. The 14-year-old boy died and 3 construction workers were injured when it collapsed. OSHA will be investigating. A special prosecutor is being called to handle the cases of 2 white men charged in an alleged assault on a black man near Bloomington. The victim, Fox Booker, says he was attacked at Monroe Lake and that someone threatened to, quote, get him loose. Prosecutor in the case after an attorney for one of the defendants requested it. While many schools are nailing down their reopening plans, is preparing to open for the very first time. But before students head back to the classroom, they'll need to make sure
You think you
they're
can hold
properly
it?
equipped. An
Yeah,
event next
hold it.
week aims to help with that.
You'll be on 3 inches tonight.
Tonight and tomorrow, we both have heavy rain.
Right. I can go back out there and dredge. That's between tonight and tomorrow. Water out of it anyway.
Makes mine worse.
Well, it's our fault. Buddy. There. Come here.
Rain
I ain't
for
asked for
now
kisses.
is
Come here.
finally starting to slacken up a bit. We still have heavier showers here along 431 down by Utica and then into the eastern half here of McLean County out by Livia and then here to Sacramento and down into Muhlenberg County. If you go back 6 hours, it has just been one of those situations where the rain kept coming slowly but steadily and in some cases heavily. And all of these things combined brought a big rain over many of our counties. These are the radar estimates, and we showed about 1.3 out by the airport or a little north, 2.9 there to the south of Morganfield, and a little over 3
I'll get that
by the radar
information to
estimate
Janet.
in Gallatin County. Compare
Where
that
her
with what we
sheep
have
right
at the
here.
airport
We'll go out and
today.
eat
1.56, that didn't set a record, but that's a lot of rain. It pushed our monthly total to
we know where we're going.
6.04.
Probably go to Golden Corral.
About the 15th.
No, I'm talking about
But Golden Corral, they got a buffet, but you gotta tell them what you want. You're not
I
allowed.
know. I'm the one that set that place
More
up.
than 11 inches over the average. The
I was
temperature out there
talking
now
about Janet.
73. There's no wind, and the humidity is at 10%. So it won't take much to get the rain machine turned up again, and that's exactly what's going to happen tomorrow.
And I'm gonna get more groceries because what we got here is not gonna beat Steph.
On Saturday.
Steph, you'll call me tomorrow and I'll find out what she wants me to get from the store.
Out of Missouri,
Well,
coming
what the hell we got ain't
on the
gonna feed
stationary
nobody.
front that's parked along the Ohio
That's
River.
gonna feed them now.
The effect is it just keeps sending the same energy over the same path.
Layla,
Those two things.
you wanna go out and eat Monday
Pretty
with
big
Sissy?
result, which is
Can you all behave? I was
heading
we'll
up
take mommy and pay her
that will
way.
continue through
It's gonna cost me around $100 at Golden Corral.
The rain, the threat is still there, but it will be a little more scattered.
Yeah, I done called.
Until we get into the middle of next week, when we actually dry out. Let's take a quick look here at Isaias. Now, 80-mile-per-hour winds.
I know I took
Still
y'all
down
out to
in the
eat
mountains,
one
but by
night.
tomorrow morning and then tomorrow night, we'll be very close here to South Florida.
But we bought the
Miami,
buffet.
Beach.
That's what
And
we wanna
then
get.
it will kind of glance off the coast, at least by the forecast here.
$14.99 for adults. Steph, the guy told me it'd be $13.99, and Layla and Jamie be $7.99. You add all that together for 7 people, Leanna done did. It totaled up over $80.
If you have travel plans out there, family, property, whatnot.
But it's worth it because we don't get to spend much time with that.
After our workday tomorrow, we kind of settle down.
Right about close to it after
Temperatures
taxes.
in the middle 80s with dry conditions next week.
Now the way that buffet is, I don't know how it is since we put that chain
passengers
on
between the city's pair of historic hotels.
there. Does that still mean you can just take your plate up there and they fill it up for you?
I guess.
And we're told
I don't know how they'll
guesters
explain it to you
regularly
when we get there.
sanitize the high contact surfaces throughout the day. French Lick Resort
I've been there since, just knew I had to finish putting up that yellow chain.
And they'll pull 2 tables together so we can all be seated.
Oak Park General Hospital, they're doing everything they
I not go.
That hurt, you fucking bitch! Simba!
Oh yeah, she burst. She calls herself loving you.
Well, I call myself twisting her neck and tearing it off. Like I won't hurt her. But that damn hell hurt.
She didn't sleep with me last night. Where
Fucking hurt.
I guess she couldn't get a call.
Did you say a clue?
Nobody's helping me clean this house. Steffi gets
I'm
called
offered.
to a
All right.
fucking dump.